Hello, every pony. Aboard Brownie here. I know it's been quite a while since we've done this, but we're getting right back into it. So welcome back to On Across an Arrow. Today, part 6. Through a Stitch in Time. Now, I won't keep you all waiting. I know how eager you must be. Alright, adjust the microphone. Take a moment to awkwardly sit here, making you think I'm doing something important. And I think we're good. Dash groaned quietly. It's been hours. Come on, Dusk, groaned a voice outside. It's been hours. I know, Dusk replied to the tired dragoness. I know, Twilight replied to the tired Pegasus. Right at the same time, her male double outside voiced the same words. Every pony inside the hedge cringed once more. This had not been the first time this had happened today, and it still freaked them out whenever it did happen. Most of all, Twilight herself. The two searching members had been going up and down the tree line along the Everfree Forest, inspecting every nook and cranny they could find. They hadn't found anything yet, but for some reason they always wound up right around the circle of bushes at the end of every string. What is it about this place anyway? Spines complained, eyeing the mass of shrubbery. I don't really get why we keep coming back here. Neither do I. If you want my honest opinion... Oh, there's a period there. Neither do I, if you want my honest opinion, Dusk replied. I don't know. I don't feel anything off about this area, and yet I'm drawn, I guess? I don't know. Hey, Twi, Applejack whispered from their place of cover. Y'all wouldn't happen to be feeling funny right now, would you? Excuse me. You mean besides this crippling sense of fear that I've got right at this moment? The unicorn replied, stress making her snappish, if quietly so. The farmer pressed on. Tell me, Sugar Cube, what's the fear feel like? Drawn? Spines asked her friend, raising an eyebrow. Sure you're not feeling something? Like a knot in my stomach? Like a knot in my stomach? Pinkie Pie crossed off another mark on her forehoof. It was up to 15. Oh, I don't know, Spines. I'm just rather frustrated. We've been out here all day, and not a single sign of pony. There was a rustle as Dusk planted his haunches. I'm tempted to do something rather deconstructive, but that wouldn't look very good on the next friendship report, would it? Speaking of which, you've not seen one for a few days now, Little Dragon quipped. Maybe you should, ask for some help? No, Spines, I need to do this. I mean, the implications are staggering. Doppelganger ponies? Interdimensional twins? I have my suspicions, but seriously, what do they want? Do they plan on replacing us? Or are they going to invade? What? I need to know. Oh, Dusk, Twilight whispered to herself. You can't know. It's for your own good. 16, Pinkie hissed. What? Dash objected. That one didn't count. The lavender filly led her eyes direct downwards. Friendship reports. She couldn't send any to her mentor, as long as she was trapped in this world. But now, her being trapped here was apparently driving her science self to forego his own, in his quest for the intruders. What would his princess think? Or what would his prince think? What would Celestia think? I'll write a report as soon as I get back. 17, the party pony whispered, marker in her mouth, fumbling about. A stretch of quiet came. The only noise passing through was gentle breathing. Finally there was more rustling. They can't really be hiding in there, can they? Those bushes are too thick. I don't know. I've seen some of Butterscotch's friends get into some pretty tight spaces, Spines replied. There's a thought. Let's get Butterscotch and some of his friends. See if they can't find something off about this hedge, Dusk chuckled. Maybe there's like a rabbit warren or something inside. A slow lifting of yellow wings signaled that Fluttershy was okay with this plan. Well, we're not getting anything done hanging around here, the purple stallion suddenly exclaimed as he hefted himself to all fours. Let's go check the path to Zakorn's hut. Maybe they've got it set up there. Yo, hey Brony! The new voice caused every pony inside the hedge to jump, and for one of those ponies to give a glare at the ceiling. Colt Crutter! Dash hissed. Quickly but silently, Rainbow Dash, Applejack, and Twilight crawled towards the entrance, getting a look outside. Lucky for them, Dusk, Spines, and Rainbow Blitz were in full and clear view, the Pegasus stand quickly zooming in. Hey Blitz, what's up? The male unicorn asked, his mood improving somewhat by a familiar face. I'll tell you what's up. Something big, Blitz replied, as he slowed down and hovered in front of his friend. Oh, sugar cakes, Applejack whispered. Oh, sorry, wrong emphasis. Try it again. Oh, sugar cakes, Applejack whispered. God, that sounded creepy. Her green eyes wide as she sighted the blue stallion. Remember when I was talking about how a girl's heart goes pity-pat the other day? Yeah, I remember, Twilight replied, confused. Why? The apple farmer's face had a new addition to it, a crimson line of a blush. 'Cause I think my heart's a-doing the pity-patting right now. You make a damn fine colt, Rainbow. Hey! The multi-hued mare squeaked in indignation. No crushing on my clone, that's just weird. Girls, quiet. The purple pony hushed. They're talking. Another one? Both Dusk and Spines said incredulously, which I didn't do because I can't do two voices at once. Yeah, another one. She's called Rarity, and she's a dead ringer for elusive, the hovering pony exclaimed. She's a Carol with blah 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 blah. Pronunciation. How does it work? She's at Carousel Boutique. I've got Lucy keeping her there. Not that I had to try very hard. They were practically tripping all over each other. You're kidding. Unicornstein gaped. No. You want to know what I found out? Apparently I pushed my nap cloud right into the sunbeam they're using to ask for Prince Solaris's blessing. Oh, God. Now the purple colt was massaging his forehead with a hoof. Butterscotch was bad enough, but this? Blitz, this is not looking good for the dimensional continuum as a whole. If you mean the universe is going to explode if they kiss, then we're probably already too late. I think they were making out the moment I left. The dragoness practically had steam coming out of her ears. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Ugh, was the only reply that Pegasus got, as Dust suddenly broke into a gallop heading off back towards town. At least one in the hoof is worth two in the bush. Hurry, Blitz, we might still have some time. As the trio disappeared into the distance, they heard Spines crying out, I'm coming to save you, hun! Every pony waited for a minute. When it became obvious that the coast was clear, Twilight found herself hopping onto all four hooves. Hurry, girls. We might still have time. 18! Not now. Oh, wrong person. God. Read. Read, man. Read. Not now, Pinky, Applejack exclaimed. We all need to pony up and go save Rarity before she goes and does something stupid. Twilight, Dash gaped, wings flapping in the air. If meeting ourselves and touching each other didn't make us disappear, do you think that, you know... Her face was reddening just thinking about it. I have no idea. I've never once read a theory about the end of all time and space being brought about by two of the same ponies from different dimensions having sexual intercourse. The student's ears were burning as she said the words, but she had no idea how else to say it, despite how ridiculous it sounded. At least I don't think I have. We need to rescue her, if not from herself, Fluttershy quipped, a look of determination gracing her features. Then at least from our other selves. Okay, stop panicking, Twilight told herself, eyes shut in concentration for a second. Okay, Rainbow Dash, fly off to the boutique at full speed, as low to the ground as you can. Introduce yourself as... Whoa, wait up, the Pegasus stalled. Speed I can do fine, but this elusive guy is probably going to ask questions if he sees me. I need a disguise, and it's pretty darn hard to disguise this. She ran a hoof through her mane of colors. Oh, yeah, that's true. Right, new plan. Rainbow, take, Fluttershy. She's the lightest of us all. We'll get her disguised, and she'll do the talking. Sound good? There were nods all around. Good. Okay, Fluttershy, where's the makeup kit? The Butter Pegasus opened her mouth as if to say something, but closed it as a look of realization came over her. Rarity took it with her. Twilight face-hoofed again. It was becoming an unhealthy habit, her forehead told her. Okay. Any pony here have any kind of markers or dye on them that isn't black? Any pony? Any pony. Time's a-wasting here. I'm sorry, Twy. Applejack hoofed the ground. I can offer my hat again, but I got no coloring stuff on me. Dash shook her own head. Sorry, Twilight. This rainbow doesn't wash out. I've never had a need for dyes here. I'm sorry, Twilight. I left my crayons back at the cottage in our world. Though, I bet if we asked... I've got some coloring. This last one came from a perpetually happy pink pony, who was currently bouncing in place without a care in the world. She was swiftly surrounded. Pinky, you're a lifesaver, Twilight exclaimed. Let's see it. We need to get Fluttershy into it, quick. The mistress of pie, which just sounds wrong, reached her head into the pink fluff of her tail before withdrawing from it a simple box of tubes. 4 tubes, in fact. Green, red, yellow, and blue. The student found herself sighing as she recognized the package. It makes sense. This is Pinky we're talking about, but it'll still work. Pinky, the apple farmer questioned, what in the hay is that? Pinkie Pie proudly opened the box, taking out the blue tube. Food coloring! Of course. She would keep it in her tail. Pause for a drink. No alcohol this time, you guys. Because one of my friends from the live stream said I might have a problem. You know who you are. As Rarity poured up the steaming pot of broccoli into a strainer, she found herself something tickling her consciousness. She had forgotten something, but what? Oh, she was well aware of the predicament that she was in. The bottle of sunflower oil was still in her neck bag, which was resting on a coat hanger in the workshop. She knew that hours had passed and that her friends back at the hedge were probably becoming extremely anxious for her return. There was also the matter of impending doom that she knew would be coming through the boutique door at any moment. She was quite certain that when Dusk and Blitz arrived, their faces would more than likely not be ones of support, but of suspicion. They know who I am. They'll take me in and drill me for questions. They'll probably want me to squeal on my friends and tell them where the hedge is. And then we may be stuck here forever. Hot breath cascaded down her neck as she felt an affectionate nuzzle work its way up to her mane. Oh, my. As George Takei would say, oh, my. Instantly she found her eyes closing in bliss as all her worries washed down the drain like used cooking water. Oh, but it would be so worth it. The two had spent some of their time after the Pegasus had left simply standing there in the boutique, lips embracing. Somewhere along in there, Rarity had managed to give the offer of helping her male self with the preparation of dinner, which they had slowly, but eventually, gotten around to. Hey there, love. His voice sounded at her ear. Steamed broccoli with almondine? Because I don't know how to pronounce that. Yes, she tittered, leaning her head back to brush her cheek with his own. One of my favorite dishes. My mother cooked it all the time back home. I suppose you could call it comfort food. Amazing, Elusive whispered, as he stared into the eyes of his loved one in awe, not for the first time this evening. My father used to cook the same. And judging by this, it seems our parents both used the same recipe. Oh, Rarity, the more I find out about you, the more my heart becomes yours. Bah. Anyway, she silenced his monologue with yet another kiss. Let doomsday come, she thought. Every second I have is another second with my love. My prince, my better self. Is it just me, or is my Rarity impression sounding a little too much like Octavia tonight? Is it just me? I think it might just be me. We'll keep going. They're pretty similar anyway, so it's not a huge deal. She heard a squeak of a door opening. Her eyes shut open in surprise as the thought of her time coming to an end so soon brought chills of fright and regret through her spine. Okay. This voice. I don't remember how I did it the last time, so we'll make something up real quick. Hey, big brother, I'm home. Because I think it'd be kind of high, but I can't go high enough to be squeaky, so it's the best we can do. Okay, so it wasn't the end of the world yet, but she now had to deal with yet another unforeseen circumstance that had not crossed her mind until right this very second. Silverbell. The white stallion broke contact with her lips, a smile on his face. Welcome home, Silver, he called out. We're in the kitchen. There's some pony very special that I want you to meet. Special? The little lavender-haired colt questioned, as his stubby legs trotted him right onto the linoleum floor. "Did you find another Princess Silver's green eyes widened as he saw and recognized the white mare standing at the sink. She gave him back a nervous smile before winking at him. "Oh, gracious, I hope he doesn't say anything too unsettling." "Silverbell," Elusive stated, taking a few steps towards his sibling. "This is the Lady Rarity Umbrelay. She is the most amazing unicorn that I've ever met in my life." "Rarity?" He then turned back towards his female half. "This is my little brother, and the apple of my eye, Silverbell." She trotted forward, her mind's eye filled with the image of the two brothers standing together. Instantly, she felt a heartache blossom in her chest as the image was reversed. In that moment, she realized what exactly had happened, and what she had almost lost. "Silver," she whispered, kneeling down in front of the little pony. "It is an honor to finally meet you." The white colt stared for a second longer before remembering himself and returning the bow. "The honor is mine, Miss Rarity. Are you—" His eyes flickered around the kitchen before settling back on her. "Are you helping my brother make dinner tonight?" "Indeed I am." She gave him a smile. "Broccoli almondine, Almondine. Almond. We're going with almondine, so. Broccoli almondine, and if it's okay with your brother," she gave Elusive a knowing look before leaning forward, "maple glazed carrots." Eyes lit up in absolute delight, the sight of which made her heart both ache and sing. "Maple glazed carrots? Wow!" Silver cheered, the thought of his favorite dish ever being made for dinner tonight. He pranced for a second before running over to Elusive and rearing up on one of his forelegs. "Can we really have maple carrots, bro? Can we? Can we? The white unicorn chuckled at his antics. "Of course, Silver. Tonight is a special night. I have no reason to see why we shouldn't." His blue eyes directed themselves back at the mare as she fluttered her own sapphire orbs. I don't know who's voicing this line, so I'll just guess. "Yes, tonight is a very special night indeed. Now run along, hon, get cleaned up. Dinner will be ready shortly." "Sure thing!" the pale pony cheered before scampering out of the kitchen. He didn't want to be late for maple glazed carrots if he could possibly help it. "Ah, the youth of today," Elusive grinned, watching his sibling depart. "So energetic, so happy. I remember a time when I was like—" As he turned back towards Rarity, he caught sight of her tear-stained face, eyes locked on the door that his brother had left through. "Rarity, love," he whispered, coming close to her, nuzzling once more. "What troubles you? You can tell me. I have a sister." She gasped through a barely contained sob. I haven't seen her in so long. Seeing your brother just now made me realize how much I really miss her." She then collapsed inwards, her face burying itself in the stallion's chest as he wrapped his hooves around her, comforting her. "Oh, Rarity," he crooned, nuzzling her mane. "Oh, I had no idea. I'm so sorry." "It's okay," she managed to choke through her muffled sobs. "There was no way you could have known. Nor could you have known that I need to make a choice." "A choice? Oh, my love." He felt his heart clenching as he pulled her away long enough to look her in the face. Is your sister in trouble? Oh, please tell me. Elusive will do his best to listen, to help in any way that he can." "Oh, love," she gaped, again touched by the depths of his generosity. It's complicated, my love. Believe me, I want to tell you everything. I truly, truly do, but explaining would take all night, and we can't let maple glazed carrots cook that long, lest they turn to mush." She was stalling, he knew, but he simply brought his lips close, kissing her on the forehead. "Another time, then, my dearest. Don't feel as if you need to rush, but please, do not keep it to yourself for long. You are my better half, and I am yours. Secrets between us, though we may have a few, will eventually pass. Remember, you have captured my heart, and all its contents are yours and yours alone to see." New tears began on Rarity's face before she flung her hooves around his neck and kissed him once more. Somewhere in the back, a kettle began to whistle. Wow, that was pretty powerful. Ugh. Oh, I'm touched. Okay, I need a drink. Oh, this isn't cutting out. I need some alcohol, and I don't have any right now. Oh, cruel fate. Okay. Whew. Focus. Game face. Alright, we can do this. Dinner was eventually finished. The sun finished its final descent over the horizon, as it was all plated. With 2 unicorns in the kitchen instead of 1, the whole thing came together rather quickly. Again, Elusive was amazed by Rarity's powers of prowess, especially in the kitchen. Never once did she have to ask him where pots, pans, or condiments were located. It was like she had cooked in this kitchen before. Huh. Silverbell eventually rejoined them, descending down the stairs, his mane combed and prim. His eyes were wide, too, as he witnessed for the first time the 2 elder unicorns locking lips as they levitated plates over to the table. Oh my, he found himself going. So it was true. They continued to share their passion between each other, barely cognizant enough to put the plates on the table in the right order. At least, not nearly cognizant enough to notice that they were joined by a young colt seating himself right in front of them. Big brother? The pair gasped as they were caught by surprise, a mad blush showing over both their faces. Oh, Silver, sorry about that. We didn't see you. Elusive, Miss Rarity, are you 2 in love? Out of the mouths of babes, it had been said. The pair of ponies stared blankly at him for a few seconds before softening their gazes and looking back at one another. Yes, Rarity began. Your brother and I are very much in love. Now Silver's eyes grew wider, his green gaze locked on the mare. Miss Rarity, does this mean that you're going to become my big sister? Oh, so cute. Ugh. Well, there it was. All of a sudden, she no longer saw a colt, but a filly sitting there, Sweetie Belle's face imploring at her. What do you choose, big sister? Whose heart are you going to break? I... Knock, knock. As loud as the bells of death to her, she instantly felt the color drain from her pale face. Oh, that must be Dusk and Blitz now, Elusive sang. Which I didn't. Four Hooves wheeling in the air before he took off for the door. She remained shocked still, her mouth gaping like a fish as she watched her life flash before her eyes, as she watched the last few seconds of the most perfect moments of her existence tick away. Elusive, In the front room she heard the door creak. Hello there, Oh, I do apologize, ma'am. Welcome to Carousel Boutique. My name is Elusive. We're actually closed right now, but can I help you with anything? Oh, came a soft voice. Excuse me. My name is Grassy Gaze. There. Grassy Gaze? Graze? God. Grassy Graze? Let's try it like 5 more times. Alright. And I gotta start all over again. Excuse me. My name is Grassy Graze. I was just wondering, if you wouldn't mind, if you'd happen to have seen my friend? Fluttershy, Rarity thought. She found her hooves galloping towards the front room, past her male self as she zoomed to the door. Fluttershy! It was most definitely her standing at the door, though the last time the white mare had checked, Fluttershy's coat was a butter yellow, not a pale green, and her mane was usually a vibrant pink instead of being a soaked, purple-tinged dew. To her it looked as if somebody had taken her timid Pegasus friend and dipped her bodily into a vat of weak blue dye. Oh, Rarity! Her aqua eyes brightened at seeing her friend. I was getting worried. We were supposed to see the show together earlier. Do you remember? Oh, yes, the unicorn cried out, maxing out her drama meter. I can't believe I've forgotten. Oh, can you ever forgive me, my dear Greenie? Grassy! Oh, I apologize profusely. I just simply lost track of time after I met... She pulled Elusive close to her and traded nuzzles with him. The stallion of my dreams. At this, Grassy's gaze grew even wider. Oh, my. I'm so happy to hear that, she cheered, her hooves clapping in joy. A rustle from the bushes next to her, however, put her back on track. "Oh, yes. It's okay, Rarity, but we really don't have much time left, you see." She tilted her head and flicked her sight behind her, signaling her intention. Rarity nodded, keeping a straight face despite the jumble of mixed emotions that filled her head. Of course, dear. Just give me a moment." She then turned to lock eyes with her better half, her own face a vision of regret. "I am so sorry, my love. I had completely forgotten about my prior engagement. Like I said earlier, I had no idea what destiny would happen here." The tall unicorn smiled as he shook his mane. "It's all right, my dear. Do not worry for me. I will understand the value of keeping your words to a friend. Go on, Rarity. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Live the life." "Oh, elusive." She found herself swooning once more. "My life will never be quite the same without you. How will I manage? How will—" Her memory jogged. "Wait! Can I ask one more thing of you before I depart from your embrace?" "Oh, Rarity, anything. Ask and it shall be yours." It's unusual. Well—" She looked down for a second before looking back up, a blush on her face. "Shampoo." Elusive blinked. "Shampoo. Lauren F." "Aha! See what you did there." "Lauren F. Formula 1563. Keratin B supplemented for that full-body bounce and shine. I think you know the one." There was a hopeful edge in her voice. His eyes brightened as his own personally preferred conditioner was mentioned. "Oh, I know the one. Be right back, my sweet." He galloped off, the wind flowing through his mane as a confused Silverbell trotted up to the door. "Oh, hi, Silver," Fluttershy greeted, a smile on her face. The pony took a second to recognize her. "Wow! Your special must be camouflage. Hi there, Agent... I didn't catch your agent name." She giggled. "I'm going to be Grassy Grays right now. Don't tell any pony, okay?" With that, she gave a wink to the diminutive unicorn. "Ugh, how long are they going to take?" came a whisper from the bush next to the greener shy. "Hi, Agent D," the little one cheered at the foliage. "Why are you disguised like a bush?" Hi, Squirt. I'm playing a high-speed escape vehicle tonight, so I gotta stay hid." "Ooh, that sounds dangerous. Scooterroll always plays high-speed escape even when we're not escaping from anything." Rarity, lost my place. Oh, God. Alright, sorry. Rarity rolled her eyes at the conversation, mouth quirked in a smile as she retrieved her neck bag before hers caught the sounds of rushing hoofsteps once more. Quickly, Elusive rejoined them, a bottle of main soap floating at his side. "Here we are, just as requested," the Ivory Stallion breathed, the vessel floating over to her. "I should have guessed that my better half would have had exquisite taste in conditioner as well." "Nothing but the best," she agreed, her horn lighting up as she took it into her own hold. A pained look came across her features as she trotted up to Elusive, quickly closing the distance between them. "My love, this is... goodbye." "Don't say that, my sweet," he soothed, leaning his head in to touch noses with her. "Instead, let us say farewell until we are reunited once more. Remember, my dearest Rarity, though we may be separated, know that my heart will always be yours." As mine is yours," the unicorn cried, her voice breaking. "Oh, Elusive! Oh, Rarity!" Once again they embraced each other, lips meeting in one last passionate kiss. From the door, Silverbell chuckled as Grassy Green brought her forehoofs to her face and went, "Aww." Beside her, the bush proceeded to make retching sounds. It did seem to take an awfully long time, but the two eventually disentangled themselves. Rarity turned, tried to quickly get to the door, paused, and then quickly wrapped Silverbell under her hooves. "As far as I'm concerned," she whispered to him, "you're already my little brother." She released him and galloped off into the night, a trail of tears streaming behind her. Fluttershy eeped and then called after her, running in hot pursuit. Unseen, a Pegasus slipped out of the shrubbery and made a quick escape. Pause for a drink. A painfully non-alcoholic drink. Elusive and Silverbell stood at the door for a long while, well after the fillies had gone out of sight. "I like her," the small colt finally spoke. "She makes me think of Mom." "Yes, she does, doesn't she?" the stallion replied, a faraway cast to his eyes. "I'm going to marry that mare. Even if she never resurfaces in Ponyville again, I'm going to track her down. I will move the heavens and the earth if that's what it takes. I'll even take on Prince Stellaris himself. if it would mean being reunited with my one true love. Elusive? Green Eye stared at him. You're monologuing again. And I meant every word of it. He gave a nod to himself. A few more seconds passed before finally he let out a wistful sigh as his purple mane seemed to deflate. Well, in the meantime, I suppose we should get back to dinner. The carrots have probably gone cold. That's okay, the younger sibling assured, turning back inside. What matters is that she helped cook it, right? You're right, the unicorn replied as he turned around and closed the door. She has left us both with her own offering of generosity, and it behooves us, as General calls, to appreciate a lady's hard work and spirit. Come, Silver, let us enjoy the gift that Rarity has left us. The brothers began trotting back to the kitchen, stomachs growling. Sadly, about halfway there, the door suddenly reverberated with a panicked staccato of pounding. Oh, good heavens, what now? Elusive grabbed as he pivoted on a hoof and trotted back. Just a second. He set himself in front of the door and opened it right in time to... Where is she? Duskshine raggedly breathed in the suitmaker's face. He and the magician had never crossed horns literally before, but it was hard to ignore the clattering as their noses were quite pressed against one another. Dusk? He exclaimed, falling back on his haunches in surprise. You've been running. Where were you? It must have been quite a distance. No time for explanations, Rainbow Blitz sprayed, zooming into the shop proper. Where's your filly friend? Dusk's been dying to meet her. Blitz, now please. The white pony was getting flustered. It would behoove a man to at least wipe his hooves before entering another's domain. I've been flying this whole time. My hooves are clean. Your argument's invalid, the Pegasus snorted. Seriously, she's still here, right? I thought you were going to treat us to dinner. Yes, I've been looking forward to it, Dusk added, his legs wobbling on her spine, snoozing weight as he walked inside, his stomach rumbling in agreement. But not as much as meeting your true love. Can we speak to her? Elusive gave a toss of his head before shaking his mane and shrugging. My apologies, gentle colts, but you've missed the lovely Lady Rarity Umbrelé by a matter of minutes. A beat passed before they responded. What? Blitz yelled, his face a picture of surprise and frustration. I thought I told you to keep her here till we got back. Rainbow, I am a gentleman, and a true man of virtue would never keep a lady withheld against her will. I'm appalled you would have me keep her a prisoner in my shop. Elusive, please, Dusk piped up, the earlier weariness now banished. This Rarity you're talking about. She's not a normal pony. The white pony's eyes glazed over. Oh, I would say not. She was a pure picture of divinity itself. That mane, those gorgeous eyes. Her nose was just the most delicate thing. And most astounding, her mind. A soul like hers I have never before seen in all my years. And I feel blessed to have finally met the one my heart has ached for. The mare of my dreams. I told you it was bad, the blue colt murmured to the purple one. That's a very enlightening description of her, the unicorn deadpanned. She sounds like quite a catch. So why is she gone? The suitmaker shook himself out of his revelry. Oh, I do apologize. Yes, it appeared that she had a prior obligation. A friend of hers came to my door asking for her, and they left together. Both ponies' heads picked up. A friend? Can you describe them? Oh, well, she was a small filly, Pegasus, green coat, long mane that was a maroon tint, didn't catch her cutie mark, aqua blue eyes. Blitz gave a confused look to Dusk. Doesn't sound like any pony we've heard of. Oh, in the most adorable voice. She was so timid and shy. I pinned her as a possible date for butterscotch the moment she spoke. Fluttershy, the lavender unicorn whispered. Go ahead and look. I'll stay here. Gotcha, came the reply. With a whoosh of wind, the rainbow pony was out the door. Elusive blinked at the sudden exit, before rounding on the magician. Dusk, just what is this all about? I get the feeling you're not here on account of my invite to dinner. While I would appreciate that, Elusive, his stomach mumbled in agreement, there's a lot more going on here than you think. Tell me, did you get a good look at your date's cutie mark? It was a pair of umbrellas, came the reply, his eyes closed in concentration. Rarity is a maker of fine rainwear items, based outside of Philadelphia. She showed me that she's quite adept at her craft. I can imagine, Dusk returned, his face taking on a serious expression. He turned his head back to the snoozing dragoness and took a moment to levitate her off his back on a nearby pile of fabric, before returning it to his interrogation. Elusive, tell me, doesn't the cutie mark vanishment spell leave behind a faint traceable PKE residue? Now the white pony found himself on edge. What do you mean, Dusk? I wasn't aware that you'd been learning it. I haven't, came the reply, as the lavender equine got to all fours, trotting into the shop interior, his horn aglow. But I can still trace that residue. It's very distinct. And there's a bit of it distinctly on your stage. Oh! Oh my! Well, mayhaps I was a bit rusty. I was trying it out again earlier today. Elusive! The purple eyes locked with the stallion's blue ones. You knew. You're covering for her. Oh, Dusk, please. The normally tall and relaxed colt suddenly collapsed belly down on the floor, hooves begging at Dusk's feet. She's not a bad pony. I can feel it in her heart of hearts. In my heart of hearts, she has nothing but the most amazing qualities to her. She even helped make dinner. Broccoli almondine. No pony with a speck of evil intent would ever know how to make the perfect broccoli almondine. Lucy, get up. That sounded like the wrong accent. Lucy, get up. Dusk's face was a picture of calm exasperation. Let me tell you what's going on. Sniffling, the white horse regained his footing as his ears perked up. I haven't told all of the guys yet, until I know for certain. Until I do, I'm going to have to ask you to keep all this hush-hush for the moment. Clear? Good. It started 3 days ago, when Butterscotch came by my place to check out a book, only it wasn't Butterscotch. She looked like him, but was most certainly a filly. Later on, Butterscotch met her for himself, and from what I hear, he now has a crush on her. Oh, how quaint! Elusive chuckled. Butterscotch with a crush. Never thought I'd see the day. I'm not done. The next day there's a commotion in the skies of Ponyville. 2 rainbow trails, followed by a double rain boom. Later, Blitz comes to me and tells me that his house has been raided by a filly that looks just like him, even down to the cutie mark. Really? Is that how he got that small bruise above his eye? How did... Of course you would notice. But, sorry, I'm under Bubbleberry swear to not divulge that information. Oh, I see. There was a quick nervous glance around the premises for sponge buckets. Eh? Well then, please continue. Well, that brings us to today. Today, from what Blitz has described to me, you've had a customer who is a white unicorn, just like you. Well, that is true. She has a purple mane, blue eyes, a penchant for the dramatic, and an eye for design, just like you. Now Elusive found himself backing up against a wall as Dusk continued to speak. Yes, also true, but you see, and she also knows the cutie mark vanishment spell, just like you. Now see here, Dusk. I think that I can see what you're getting at, but honestly, it's all sounding to me like you've been hitting the science fiction section of your library a bit hard. A mouth was open to retort, but it was then that Rainbow Blitz made his reappearance, hooves all alighting on the carpet lazily. No luck? Dusk asked, a defeated look in his eyes. The vibrant mane shook it from side to side. Nope, I couldn't find a trace of them. They must have had that filly faker with them. His eyes grew stormy as the words left his mouth. Filly faker, the white one repeated. Really, Blitz, such slang. His own word for his double. The unicorn dragged himself to the center of the boutique, looking rather haggard. This is getting ridiculous. We've been out at the Everfree Forest all day today looking to see if I could find their camp, and I've gotten nothing. Then the one lead that we could have used to crack this case wide open slips through our hooves, because our friend here is too much of a gentleman to keep her detained. Now it was Elusive's turn to roll his eyes. Please, Dusk. I'll admit it all sounds rather fantastic, but that's all it is. You don't really think that we're being invaded by duplicates now, do you? The whole thing is rather preposterous if you ask me. Are you saying Dusk's a liar? The blue pony popped up in his face. He's been busting his flank trying to find these creeps, and all you can do is fall in love with yourself? Literally? I am saying no such thing. The stallion's face turned red with indignation. Dusk is as much my friend as he is yours, Rainbow, but please think this through. If these are clones or whatever, then what makes you think they really intend to harm? Do you know what their real plans are? Well, that's what we were hoping to find out, the lavender colt replied, his haunches seating themselves on the floor. We could have asked your female self, politely, I assure you, where she came from and how many friends she had with her, what she was doing here. His stomach protested against any more action today. If her cooking's really as good as you say it is. Dinner is still on the table, Elusive replied, looking over to the kitchen door. Silver looked at the three from inside the dining room. It's probably a bit cold by now, but still, I insist that you join me. I shan't leave my friends to starve, after all. And hopefully you'll believe me when I say, whether she is a double or not, I feel in my heart of hearts that she could never have been the type to plot anything dastardly against us. The Pegasus gave a half-lidded nod to his bookworm friend, but they dropped the subject. Even Blitz had to admit that all that flying today had given him an appetite. As the trio trotted into the back room, the young colt watched them go by. He knew where the fillies were, but he didn't think they were evil sorts. No pony who made his favorite maple-glazed carrots could have been bad. With a look of determination, Silver decided to keep his mouth shut for now. They would later all agree Rarity's cooking was out of this world. And pause for a drink. And pause because I can't breathe through my nose right now. Sinuses. Anyway. Really? You could have told me this was food coloring. This is going to stain my coat something awful. Oh, sorry, Rarity. But at least it's all natural. Yeah, heaven forbid you get artificial preservatives mixed up in your mane. They alighted outside the hedge, Dash's wings flapping erratically. Flying at near supersonic speeds close to the ground with a cargo of 2 ponies had taken more out of the mare than she would have liked to admit. Slowly the 3 made their way inside. Rarity was the first to enter, followed by Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash soon after. As the white mare left the incline, she found a pair of purple eyes drilling holes into her. Rarity, Twilight began. Why? She fidgeted at the words, trying to think of a suitable response. I was curious, darling. Fluttershy had proven that love was possible between our worlds, and I knew that, well, because of myself, Twilight. I'm not afraid to admit that I felt my beauty and grace in our world would translate into ruggedness and gentle coldness in this one. You should have seen them, the Pegasus complained. They took hours saying goodbye. They even kissed. It was really sweet, Grassy Grace soothed, her green complexion graced with a smile. Applejack rolled her eyes. It all sounds very romantic, Rarity, but still, I can't believe y'all went and did such a galldarn fool thing. Right under our noses. Rarity, the book filly spoke again. We trusted you. Now, ladies, the dressmaker assured, her horn lighting up and opening her neck bag, producing the bottle of sunflower oil. I swear I did not forget you girls entirely. I got our needed item first. I just took a detour. An admittedly lengthy one, I'll admit. But I must confess, though you may speak of me badly of it, I do not think I could ever regret having met my... Here her eyes grew distant, as stars shone before her face. My better half. My dream colt. The one who made me feel complete. Unsettled looks were traded among the remaining 5 ponies. At length, Twilight spoke again. Did you at least get your shampoo? Rarity didn't even budge as the bottle of soap was levitated out as well. She gave it a long stare before bringing it close and rubbing her cheek against its surface. I shall never part with it for as long as I live. Oh, holy horse apple, she's got it bad, Applejack stated, staring at the scene before turning to the magician. Let's go ahead and get out of here before we all drown from all this sap. Got ya, Twilight replied, taking the sunflower oil into her own hold, trotting over to the table and beginning the procedure from scratch. The white mare remained standing, still nuzzling the shampoo. She didn't even notice when Dash walked up next to her, an accusing look on her face. So, she spoke, before we got there, you and Mr. Fabulous perform aerial maneuver 69, or what? The unfamiliar parlance was enough to drag Rarity to the here and now. I beg your pardon, Dash? What she means, Applejack drawled, a sly smile on her face, is, did you two go and have a tumble in the hay or not? The unicorn was a bit more familiar with that term, and her face flushed red. Applejack! I'll have you know it is not considered good gentlemanly behavior to accept a lady's virtue upon the first night. This drew a grin out of the other 2 fillies. But before they could further press their friend, they were called by the purple pony from the corner. Okay, girls, gather round. It's time to go home. They all quickly surrounded the table. The flower laid next to the vase, the vessel itself half full of oil as Twilight dropped the red gemstone into the depths. Dash, if you please. The rainbow-maned one nodded before extending a wing and preening at it. With a very subtle ow, she then turned back with the feather in her mouth. Twilight took it and levitated into the vase. Okay, here goes. The magician's horn began to glow in full force, a similar affluence surrounding the vase. Soon the field extended outwards, enveloping all 6 fillies. Okay, Twilight thought to herself. I just need to find that ley line from before. If I can find that, then I can get us all back home, and this whole nightmare will be over. Inside her mind's eye, she saw not a spiderweb of cracks as she had expected, but instead something akin to a ball of dark matter yarn. There were hundreds upon thousands upon millions of ley lines. Ley lines that, she now realized, were actually timelines. Each thread was an alternate dimension. She just had to find the thread that was theirs. She tried to concentrate, but a fog was rolling in. Every thread looked the same to her. She tried to probe them, tried to get a feel for the contents. Surely there was one thread that had been slightly unraveled from their earlier journey. Desperate, she pinged the cosmos for an answer. No reply. Before she could redouble her efforts, she was suddenly tossed backwards, all her energy suddenly bouncing back from whence it came. She came to a split second later, eyes staring up at the dirt ceiling, her horn apparently embedded into one of the hedge's walls. Blinking, she then realized that her friends were surrounding her, looks of worry on their faces. "Twilight," Fluttershy gasped. Are you okay?" "You look like you just sang the Pony Pokey for 10 hours straight," Pinkie chimed. "Twilight," Applejack looked at her, fear on her face. "It didn't work, did it?" "I'm okay," the Lavender Mare replied, before prying her horn out of the dirt. "I'm fine, and the spell is working. I need more energy. I could see the timelines, I just couldn't find ours. I'll need a little more magic in order to locate the correct one." "So what you're saying," Dash drew on, an indiscernible look taking over her features, "is that we're still stuck here." "Just for one more day, Dash. Tomorrow night will be it, I promise." There were sighs all around before every pony bowed their heads in acceptance. "I guess I can try and see if I can repeat my one-off win against Pinkie Pie," Applejack gloomed. "Oh yeah, that would be fun. I hardly ever never win," the Pony Pony cheered, her happiness recovering from the setback. "Twilight," said a soft voice, "you know, there's always another option." The magician turned to her timid yellow friend, eyes curious. "What do you mean, Fluttershy?" "Well," her eyes dipped down, a hoof pawing at the floor. "You're the most powerful unicorn in all of Equestria, but if you alone can't do it, I mean, not that you can't, but, you know, just in case, there's another most powerful unicorn in all of Equestria." Twilight felt that knot return in full force of those words. Her pupils began to shrink into dots as she attempted to stammer the name. You mean I should meet with She has a point, darling," Rarity commented, coming up alongside Fluttershy. "We all know the wonders you're capable of performing by yourself, but just imagine how much you could accomplish if there were 2 of you working together." No," she flatly stated, shaking her head. "No, I can't. You weren't here earlier, Rarity. Dusk was outside all day today looking for us. He wanted to find us, to ask us why we're here, to bring us out in the open. I just can't." "Twilight," now the apple farmer was walking forth, "can't you just, explain everything to him? I know you. You're a pony of reason. There's no reason to assume he ain't." Now the unicorn was kneeling to the ground, looking up with those imploring eyes. Even Rainbow was looking at her with a pleading look, while Pinkie tilted her head confused. I know. And you're all probably right, but still..." She managed to straighten her head up. "I know I can do this, without causing any more damage to this world. Just hang on a little longer, okay? You've all trusted me so far. All I'm asking you to do is to have faith in me. I can do this." There was a few seconds of silence before murmurs of agreement were given. "If y'all say so, Twi," Applejack relented, getting onto her feet. "I'm willing to trust you. Tomorrow it is, then." "Yeah, tomorrow," Rainbow echoed, jumping and gliding to a far corner of the hedge, curling up as she landed. "Here's to hoping, Twilight." "Thanks, guys. Now, what say we get some sleep, every pony?" More murmurs of agreement were voiced as the lamp was extinguished and dark calm settled over the lot of them. Well, most of them. Twilight remained awake for a time, her heart at war with her mind. "It's not like it's not a good idea. It is," she thought. "It's just that I don't think I can do it. This is just too much for me. I just can't. I'm scared of him. I'm scared of myself. It doesn't make any sense, but I am. whenever he's near, this darn lump in my throat surfaces. How do they all do it? How do they mate themselves without turning into piles of quivering goo? I just don't understand. She groaned before tossing onto her other side. Worrying won't do any good. I can get us back myself. Yes, I can do that. Now get some sleep. Tomorrow's going to be a long day. Oh, elusive. Twilight winced. Scratch that. This is going to be a long night. And that is the end of part 6, which was really long. My throat is killing me. Okay, so sorry there was the delay for all this with the other stuff I've been doing behind the scenes. I'm gonna get back to the story, and we're gonna get back onto a regular update schedule. And then I'll press on with the other stuff, like at the same time, like alongside this. So we should get back to fairly regular programming now. So I hope all you guys enjoyed, and I'm sorry for the wait. In the meantime, you guys are awesome. I love all of you, not in a creepy way. And I hope you have a good night, and I will see you guys, or I guess not really see you, but yes, until next time.